Clients that discharge into waters of the state usually have a discharge permit, and within the permit it will tell them if they're required to do biomonitoring, which is also called whole effluent toxicity testing or wet testing. Usually for municipalities, it's if they discharge over 1 million gallons a day. For industries, it varies, but it's usually the larger ones that are required to not only do numerical, hit numerical limits, which are, ammonia, pH, that sort of thing, but also, the whole effluent shows how all these things interact together, not just each parameter, but you might have several parameters that are acting together that might cause toxicity in the river, and so they want to see how the end product will actually react when it gets out into the river. Okay, so if a client's in need of whole effluent toxicity testing, they just give SAGE's Aquatic Laboratory a call. We'll send them the sampling kits and give them instructions on how to do it, the holding times, the temperature requirements. Once the sample gets to the lab, we go through their permit, find out if they need to do acute testing or chronic testing, set up the test according to that, with the correct dilution series. If the test, does well, we give them the results and then they go on. And if they have a failure, then we go from there. Usually in the permit, there's a requirement for a toxicity reduction evaluation if they experience not usually one failure, but they're given a retest. And if they experience another failure, then they are put into this study where you need to do a range of tests to determine what the toxicant is and what processes can be used to remove it. It's usually a long process, so we try to make it as easy as possible. The wet lab is part of SAGE's wastewater business unit, so we offer an integrated approach. We help with permitting. We can walk you through your permit renewal, which is usually every 5 years. We have great wastewater engineers that help us through the TRE studies that I mentioned. In regulatory consulting, we have people here with years and years of experience in that, so they can make it as painless as possible. Our main focus and goal is to help our clients navigate through a sometimes difficult process, and using our expertise and resources, we can ultimately help them achieve compliance.